welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, My Fiancée Announces That She's Bi After a Solo Trip to a Wedding. And a shout out to Matt for sending me this story. And guys, what we have here is a situation where a guy, in a sense, is getting a bait and switch in his relationship. He's all set to be married to his girl. They've been together for a few years now. She goes off to a wedding and comes back and sits him down and announces that, surprise, I'm bi. And as you can probably imagine with the length of this video, how it's going to go, obviously the guy tries to work things through with her, and you're going to see where that gets him. And I thought it'd be a very good one to go over here, guys, just to show you that if you're in a relationship with a girl and your relationship began under certain terms, like she's straight, and down the road she admits that she's actually really into women and needs to explore things, it's not going to work out. Best to wish her well, send her on her way to explore things, and you move on, because there's always going to be that you're not fully being confident that one day she's going to break up with you because she finds that she, not only physically but also on an emotional level, wants to be with women. And if she does, that's great, but you shouldn't be marrying her. And you need to really look at the big picture. But a lot of people are going to hate on you, give you a hard time about that, but you have to take care of you. And any women out there that watch me, all 4% of you, I'm trying to get to 5%. We're not quite there yet. I think 4.6%. Your guy does the same thing. Send him on his way, wish him well, but it's not going to work. And you're going to see in the story, well, you'll see how my point is proven. So it's a longer one, but a good one, and definitely entertaining. He says, Betty, a 27-year-old female, and I, a 30-year-old male, got engaged in January after dating for a couple of years. Smack! Way too soon. And you're about to see why. Our plan was to get married next year when we had saved enough money for the wedding. Shortly after getting engaged, we moved in together at the end of January. In May, Betty was a bridesmaid for one of her friends, and I was unable to attend due to my job and the fact that it was a 5-day trip. Betty had a great time reconnecting with some of her old friends, but a couple weeks ago, after she got back, she became moody and withdrawn. Oh, she had a great time, all right, and gee, I wonder why she's acting so differently. I was relieved when she made an appointment with a therapist, since she hadn't opened up to me about what was troubling her. Uh-oh, bad communicator, not going to work. After about 5 or 6 sessions, she sat me down one Saturday morning so that we could talk. Betty had been raised in a very conservative household and had to suppress her desires until she moved out to go to college. Suppress what desires? Even then, certain ideas she denied and refused to embrace. At the wedding, she was introduced to the wife of one of her girlfriends from college, and it triggered a lot of repressed desires over the days they all hung out before the wedding. She told me she felt romantic and sexual attraction to women as well as men, and realized that she was bisexual. I told her I was happy she finally felt safe in sharing this with me and didn't change how I felt about her. It was a very emotional moment. Smack! Okay, so that wouldn't change. I'd like, okay, you're attracted to women, fine, but you have to understand, sweetheart, that it's just not going to work between us now. That's what he should have said if he had the knowledge and had the life experience. And take a wild guess the direction this is going to go. Why? Because there's always going to be that itch that she needs to scratch. There's always going to be that wonder, is it different with the girls? Or maybe I'm better off not only rolling in the hay with the girls because I'm attracted to them, but also on an emotional level for relationships. That's just something that no guy should have to be wondering about at any time, the wife could, that type of thing. Just not going to work. And a lot of people would give the guy a hard time about that, but no, that's okay. Believe me, if the guy told the girl that he was attracted to dudes, I'm sure she may take some issue with confidently being married to him, that he might, as want some sausage on occasion, It's just not going to work. Anyhow, she asked me how I felt about her exploring her sexuality now that it was out in the open. What do you mean now? We're engaged to be married. What do you mean, go cheat on me, hook up with women? Nope. And what'd I just say? I said I was open to exploring it with her and possibly having a threesome with another woman to let her have that experience. She wanted a one-on-one experience with another woman, and she felt that she could do that with me present. Couldn't do that with me present. See? There you go. Opening up about being bi, but I need to now explore things, but keep you around. Tells me that her perception of this guy is he isn't going anywhere, and her perception of him is that she can pull this thing off. No problem. No, not good. I told her that sounded to me like an affair or something I was not comfortable with. I asked her if she wanted to cancel the wedding and maybe separate while she figured out what she wanted to do. Uh-oh. She was adamant that was not what she wanted to do, and she was very much in love with me and still wanted to get married, but she felt like she had to explore those feelings she was embracing before we settled down together. Well, babe, it's going to be one or the other. Either you're going to be true to me or we're done. And then there's no exploring shit. And by the way, why do you think she truly still wants to get married? He said she comes from a conservative background. So probably that her family, it's not going to sit well with her if she's out having fun with girls and no husband. So she needs to get married for this show for society and her family and all that. And of course have the big wedding, but they also get to have her fun rolling in the hay with girls. Okay? No, this guy should not be accepting this in any way, shape, or form. I asked her if she had done anything inappropriate at the wedding and cheated on me. I asked if she had someone in mind or had been talking to someone since she came back. She admitted to dancing with a girl at the reception and they kissed at the end of the night, but nothing else happened. But she denied talking to anyone or pre-planning anything. Well, there you go. And define dancing. I think there was a different type of dancing. And she was making out with another girl. No, this is not going to work. And yes, that's cheating. End of freaking story. And I don't want to hear about the tears and the repressed feelings and exploring. No. Okay. If that's how things are, okay. I wish you all the best, but we have to part ways now. Hey, we had good times, end of story. But, and remember, open relationships, because that's what she wants, they don't work. End of story. And that means usually the girl has somebody in mind or already is fooling around. Anybody says I'm full of crap, keep watching. She knows this is a lot to throw my plate at once, and she didn't expect an answer right away. She just asked that I keep an open mind and keep talking about it. No, that has nothing to do with an open mind. I couldn't promise anything, but I agreed to do some research and talk to a workmate that has an open marriage to see how they cope. I did warn her if I found out that she lied or was doing anything behind my back, there'd be no second chances and I would leave. Okay, you heard that part. If I find something else is going on, I'm out of here. My workmate has been super helpful and open about their relationship. My brother got me into a support group that has helped me come to terms with the relationship changes. I'm burning my way through my second book and sat Betty down Thursday night to check in and talk about moving forward. I found us a couples therapist. I gave her the book I had finished and I told her we should postpone the wedding for 6 months and then decide if it's the path we're still on. I was on a roll when she stopped me and asked if I was planning on dating other women, like that never occurred to her that I would be dating as well. Oh, so it's okay for her to go out and roll in the hay with other girls, opening up their relationship, but he can't do it? Shocker. She kind of shut down after that, barely giving one-word answers when I would ask her something. I think the longest sentence I got was, I just don't know. She's been like for 24 hours now, like she's lost in a fog. I'm just bracing myself for the inevitable flood of emotions. I would have thought she would be happy that I was considering opening our relationship. No, she wants the relationship open for her, not for you. And she's probably thinking, man, those are good-looking girls he's going to be with. And now she's not talking to you. So she's a terrible communicator. She's obviously a liar. She cheated on you behind your back. I can go on and on. This is not going to work, period. But she doesn't want to lose, the guy she can marry to keep things safe and obviously income, resources and all, make her family happy. She wants the perfect world where she can have fun with girls and be with him. It's not going to work. Now to update number 1. This is a series of updates. It's a Saturday night. Her fog lifted and things got pretty heated. She said that the open relationship was my way of punishing her and being vindictive by dating other women. There you go. It's his fault. He's the villain here, of course. She was just asking for some grace to explore her feelings. That's not exploring feelings. That's exploring body parts. That's boobs and ass. That's what she's exploring and something else. No, there's no exploring feelings while we're still together. And by the way, this is just not going to work. He can't just say either you shut it off completely and we're together or that's the end of it because she's not going to shut it off. I replied that she showed almost no remorse for cheating on me and instead expected an open-ended hall pass to do it again. I told her our friends had told me she asked them not to say anything about what happened at the wedding, so I would probably never know the full truth and just had to accept that it was the worst what she admitted to. I asked if she thought it was fair to go have sex with other people while I waited, other women, while I waited at the door like some lovesick puppy who was expected to just wag his tail when she got home and show me some attention. It devolved into some hurtful things said by both of us. I finally gave her 3 options if she wanted to move forward. Okay, listen to these 3 options. Number 1, monogamy. Postpone the wedding and go to couples counseling, no experimenting, And when we get to a good place, then go ahead with the wedding with a prenup to protect me if she changes her mind and or cheats again. That's never going to work, bro, because she's attracted to women. She's attracted to women. And she's always going to be wondering. And eventually, that itch needs to be scratched. And just because you get a prenup doesn't mean it's ironclad. If you get one and later on that's contested and the judge makes the case, or her lawyer does that, I was under duress, or I was confused, or whatever, that's going to get thrown out in varying degrees. Option number 2, open relationship. We can both date who we want to, and she can figure out her sexuality on her own terms. In a year or so, we can see if the marriage still seems like a good option if we are still together. And that's not going to work, because why be together at that point? And obviously, this guy must not love her that much if he so easily can go out and hook up with other women. Come on here. 3, full separation. She moves out, and we can each be free to live our own lives as we see fit. If and when she decides she wants monogamy with me, if I haven't moved on yet, then we can try option number 1. But it would be a beginning, not just picking up where we left off. There you go. That's number 3 is the best option of all of them, except I would add something to that saying, when we split up, we're splitting up for good, because it's not going to work. You can split up and everything like that and be fully broken up, and she can come back to him crying, which she will do, but he can never trust her. She decides she needs some time to think and is going to stay with friends for a couple of days. Oh, well, we know what happened the last time you stayed with a bunch of girls, honey. I told her before she left that if she accidentally cheated while she was gone, to not come back except to pick up the rest of her belongings. This morning I got a text from her saying, "I'm so sorry!" ! She didn't answer when I asked her what she meant, and my call went to voicemail. I'm not going to reach out to her again, and I will wait to let her contact me when she's ready. So just out of the blue, she gets a text, "I'm so sorry." That's it. He calls her, doesn't pick up. Goes to voicemail, doesn't return the call. Mind games. Update number 2. On Wednesday, Betty went to her previously scheduled appointment with her therapist and told her what happened between us. Not sure what was said, but she called me on the way to a friend's house, apologizing for some of the things she said and wanted to come home and talk things out. Wants to talk about she cheated on you. This is not going to work, dude. You're just dragging out the inevitable. I told her to stay at the friend's house tonight and think about what she wanted to, and when she come home on Thursday, we could sit down and work things out. On Thursday, we met at the house and talked over dinner. We both apologized for getting heated and saying some unfair things to each other. After talking to her therapist and having several conversations with her best friend over the last few days, she decided to not explore her bisexual urges. Just because she's choosing in the moment not to explore them, or she's claiming not, doesn't mean that she's still not going to be thinking about that all the time and not wonder, is being with a woman better for me, or all those type of things. And yes, this is different than a guy being attracted to women saying, okay, even though I'm tempted to bang other chicks, I'm not going to cheat on my wife here. This is different, and you all know it. The idea of truly open relationship where I was free to sleep with other people, he means women, terrified her, and getting married was more important than chasing the rainbow. Pun intended. Her original ideas had been just a free pass to see if she was missing something in her life and how important it was to her. I asked what she was asking for a one-night stand, just dating a woman, or having a full relationship. She couldn't tell me exactly what she wanted. Of course she couldn't. I said that didn't sound very monogamous to me, or very fair. She agreed, and that was why she was giving up on exploring those feelings. Too late. She was already making out with another girl, and I just don't buy this whole thing she's saying right here. Next, she brought up the notes I sent out canceling our save-the-date notices for our wedding day. She said she was getting all kinds of phone calls about what happened and was unaware about what they were talking about at first. She was upset that I did that without talking to her first. Doesn't seem like we're getting married to me, honey. I reminded her that she lobbed 2 grenades in my lap, coming out as bisexual, and that she cheated on me, then left, and wouldn't even talk to me except for the cryptic "I'm so sorry" text, followed by silence. While I never said anything other than we were having issues and had to postpone the wedding, evidently there was speculation that she had cheated on me. Gee, I wonder where that came from. She then switched gears and said that we could get back on track and get married next spring. No, because now when one of us is out of town, my mind will be thinking about you cheating again, especially after coming out and wanting to have an affair to explore your sexuality. See? Once it happens, it's not going to get out of your head. It's not going to get out of a guy's head if he's cheated on him. It's not going to get out of the woman's head if she's cheated on him. This is just a bad situation. And you can't have a relationship, particularly a marriage, without trust. I said maybe after a couples therapy we can get back to a good place again, but not by the end of the year, and it would be foolish to start planning and making financial commitments before we even know therapy is going to work. Notice he's being the logical one here. Plus, I wanted a prenup to protect everything I brought into the marriage, as well as my future retirement savings. Plus, she would forfeit any equity if we bought a house. When she protested, I said, if you plan to be faithful and not change your mind later, then it will never be a thing. Just something to give me some peace of mind. There you go. The problem is that if he thinks that his prenup is so ironclad, I'm sorry to say, man, but I'm sure his lawyer will be happy to, charge him to set that whole thing up. It's been an ongoing conversation for the last few days. Betty wants to rug sweep the incident at the wedding and move forward with our wedding. Well, there's something else she wants to do with rugs and carpets. Exploring your sexuality is not worth sacrificing our relationship, in her opinion. For now, we are back together and planning our counseling soon. In a post-clarity moment, I realized I rushed to embrace the idea of an open relationship to allow Betty the freedom to explore her new feelings, and I'm not as willing to consider that an option. I think separation is the better option, breaking up, if you will, till we both decide on what direction our future lies, if it is with each other. If not, what I want is also don't want to spend the next 3 to 5 years together, only for her to change her mind and cheat on me one day. She's already cheated on you. She's going to do it again. Guaranteed. And she probably is already doing something behind the scenes right now. We can all speculate. Think that's happening? Next update. He says, what a crappy week. Uh-oh. Counseling started badly. I walked into the office and saw a large pride flag on the wall. Yeah, he's fucked. What do you think is if there's a big pride flag on the wall, you can sure as hell bet the therapist can be a tad bit biased here in the whole session. And watch this. Our therapist was biased towards my girlfriend's predicament. Shocker. Glossed right over the cheating part and into how I need to better support Betty's awakening and support her journey, blah, blah. Fucking douchebag. I'll read that again. Glossed right over the cheating and into how I needed to better support Betty's awakening and support her journey, blah, blah, blah. Therapist doesn't call her out on her cheating. That's no big deal because she's awakening. No, this is you can't have a biased therapist. You need one that is going to look at both sides, blah, blah, blah. No, not going to work. Betty is the one who is confused, and I'm not giving her the safe space to explore who she is. It doesn't sound like Betty's confused to me. It sounds like Betty knows exactly what she wants. Nothing about my feelings or needs was addressed. Of course, because you're the bad guy. To make matters worse, when the therapist was piling on me, I looked to Betty to stand up or say something positive for me, and I got nothing. Of course not. You know darn well Betty deliberately chose this particular therapist that was going to be on her side. Come on here. I would have walked right the fuck out of there. The second I saw that flag, I mean, I got no problem with people's lifestyles and all that, but the second I saw that flag, I would know that this is not going to be fair, and would have walked out and said, nope, nothing against her, for her lifestyle and all that, and obviously who she is, but I can't get a fair assessment here. This is not going to work. That part hurt me the most, and I pretty much shut down for the remainder of the session. Yeah, this guy's worn down. She knew this. Toward the end, the therapist did try to engage with me because you could tell she knew that she had completely lost me. On the drive home, Betty tried to talk to me, and I gave her the 3 answers I kept repeating to the therapist. Sure, nope, and maybe. This was the therapist her individual therapist recommended us to. Yep, that was on purpose. The next day, I got a call from Betty's mom at my work wanting to know why we were postponing the wedding and that her family and friends have already started making plans. I told her she needed to take that up with her daughter. She kept badgering me until I finally told her Betty made out with someone at her friend's wedding, and that is why we were on hold, and then I hung up on her. Hey, yes, Mom, but he should have said the full details, and you're going to see why. This is why you got to control the narrative. Less than an hour later, I got a call from Betty demanding to know what I told her mom. I said, you kissed someone at the wedding, and we were trying to work through it, and I didn't mention Betty coming out to me. I told her she needed to sit down her mom and dad and tell her the whole truth, but I'm not going to hold my breath. This is the conservative family that he was talking about that she had earlier. So you think she's too keen on admitting to mom and dad that, she's attracted to women and not quite sure, even though I think she's quite sure. So I get this text from her mom telling me that I need to suck it up and move past this, and that I might even be at fault for not going to the wedding with her. The mother's blaming him for her daughter cheating. that it's your fault she cheated, you need to suck it up. No. How many signs does this guy need? This is not going to work. Now you got a mother-in-law that's behaving like this. She doesn't give a shit about you. She just wants that wedding, you know? Goodbye, it's over. I showed the text to Betty when she got home from work and said she needed to do something about her mom, or I would enlighten her with the full story of our problems the next time she tried to tear me a new one. Betty said that she would handle her mom and made me promise to give her some time to tell her mom everything. Mom ain't getting the full story. Again, control the narrative. Also this week, Betty has gotten very protective of her phone. Yeah, major red flag. I went to charge my phone and unplugged hers to plug mine in, and she almost flew across the room to practically snatch her phone out of my hand. Why is she so protective of her phone? There's no reason to be protective of her phone, because she's such a loving, loyal, honest girlfriend here. I was able to sneak a look at her phone later while she was asleep, only to find out she had changed her access code, something which she hadn't done since we'd been together. I went online and looked at our phone bill, and there was many lengthy calls to Colorado area code, which I found out that it was where the girl she kissed was from. There you go. How much fucking evidence do you need? End it. Move out. We're done. You move out or she's moving out, but somebody's moving out. I'm just mentally exhausted at this point. The gaslighting, the lying, and just feeling like I'm treading water this time. Lately, when we've been intimate, there's been a lack of passion with her that was there before all this. Yeah, because you don't have boobs. I feel love bomb without the feeling. Feels like just hollow words and empty gestures. Tomorrow we are going to a cookout at her parents' house. I'm going to try and keep my cool and not say anything, crossing my fingers. But when we get back, I'm telling Betty we are done. Well, good. That's a good thing, but why are you wasting your time going to a barbecue when you know it's over anyway? Have the conversation that morning. I'll give her the choice of keeping the apartment or moving out. She will be free to explore and find what truly makes her happy, just won't be with me. Yeah, she's going to be off to Colorado and dyeing her hair blue before you know it. I came clean with my parents and a few friends about this whole mess. My tribe is ready to help support me and help with the move when I need them. Dad vetoed Mom's offer to move back home and said that what I really needed was a new puppy. Definitely too old to live with my retired parents. Feels weirdly peaceful now that I've made up my mind. Dad's not messing around. No, son, you're a grown-ass adult. You're 30 years old or whatever the hell old he is. You're not moving back with us. You're going to be just fine on your own, but get a dog. And you know what? That dog will be awesome. To all of you who told me so, you were right. Time to move on with my life. Yep. And now, to wrap this up. He says, Betty and I returned early from the cookout at her parents' house. I had planned for my sister to be at our house when we got back as a witness, but had to wait a couple hours for her to show up. Sister couldn't be on time for this. I got all this in the living room and told Becky I couldn't do it anymore and was throwing in the towel. I said I lost trust in her and couldn't see a way forward, and the best choice was to go our separate ways. Hallelujah, it only took 25 minutes to do this. Betty couldn't understand what I was saying and that she had been honest since her confession about what happened at the wedding. I asked if she'd been in contact with the girl she kissed at the wedding, and she denied it. Liar. Again, you can't trust her. I asked to see her phone, and she refused, saying it would violate her privacy and the privacy of the people she talked to. Who are you talking to? Members of the CIA? They're just your friends from Colorado. Special friends. Fine, so who did you call with a 7020 area code? And maybe I should call and see who answers. Doesn't really matter now because it proves my point. I gave her a choice of moving out or staying, and I would move out. I also said I would give her what she had contributed to our savings account for the wedding. She tried to get my sister to leave or get me to talk alone, but I told her I'd been advised to have a witness present just in case. Very smart. And I might add very smart to have a woman there. She went from crying to being angry, and after an hour and a half, she finally had a calm conversation about everything. We talked until almost midnight. My God, that was probably the longest day of his life. This morning, Betty decided to move back to her parents temporarily, and the three of us packed up her things. While she waited for her dad and brother to come get her things, she tried to get me to go to a different counselor and give her therapy another chance, but I said it was a waste of time. I could never trust her again, and that was no way to live. Not much of an ending. There you go. So all that shit that he went through, and he obviously was trying, proves, again, once a cheater, always a cheater. And if she cheats on you, it's over. The trust is never going to go away. And in this situation, she comes out as bisexual. Fine, no problem. I have a problem with you cheating, but if that's you're into women, fine. I got no problem with that. But it can't continue. And this whole letting you go explore things while I'm here twiddling my thumbs, that ain't going to work either. And the idea that just, okay, they can get together and she'll just bury it down deep, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. The terms of the relationship changed. He got into a relationship with a gal who he thought was straight, was into only him, and then later on and I guarantee you she already knew when they got together, by the way. But anyhow, he doesn't owe anything, and a lot of people would hate on him for that if he, for right now, and it would have ended for her, but no, it's not his job to give, like their therapist, at a safe space and let her explore things. That therapist that she picked, that obviously was biased towards her, that was a disgrace, and didn't take into account his feelings, being cheated on, or any of those things. That's bullshit. But anyhow, guys, there you go. If you find out your girl cheated, or for the 4% of women that watches your guy cheated, move on. And for you women out there, if your guy comes out saying he's bisexual, or for your guys that your girl says she's bisexual, okay, nothing against her. You feel free to live your life, but we're not going to be a relationship anymore. It's not going to work. And these things prove they don't work. But anyhow, there you go. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.